Yes, sir. Hello. All right. So let me wait till the notifications before we go live. All right. So peace to the family. This is Brandon B. Dixon, MLS 1541210. I have a very special guest with me today. I got Kufi Bankas. Did I pronounce that right?
Yes, sir. You did.
Gotcha. So I didn't want to trample your name up. So I want to make sure I get you right. So he's a realtor that's in this area, amongst other things. So I'm gonna let him introduce himself. I'm gonna introduce myself, and let's go ahead and get started with the interview. So go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell them about yourself. Tell them where they can find you, so on and so forth.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you again for having me, B. My name is Kufi. Last name is Bankers. Real estate broker agent in the Houston area. Do everything. Houston, Dallas, San Antonio. Pretty much the whole Texas. If you need anything real estate wise, have a brokerage. We located in West Houston, off I-10 and Wilcrest, West Houston area, town and country area. If you want to find me, CoBank Homes is the name of the group. We're on all social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, wherever you need to find me, at CoBank Homes. You can find us. Reach out to B. Mr. Dixon over here can also get in touch with me. CoBankHomes.com, info at CoBank list. And been in real estate a long time. Let me just say that.
Gotcha.
So happy to be here, B.
Over a decade or under a decade?
Oh yeah, it's over a decade. I got my license in 2005.
So before the actual crash.
Yes.
Right.
Before the actual crash. Yeah.
Gotcha. All right. So let me introduce myself. If this is your first time, again, my name is. Let me go through my little My name is Brandon B. Dixon. MLS 1541210. It's at Billionaire Loan Officer on all social media. If I'm a mortgage broker and I'm a luxury real estate agent as well, so I'm on both sides. So if you're ready to move or lease or finance or invest, hit me up, www.applywithb.com. Or you can give me a call, 832-775-8357. You can give me a call at 24/7 as long as it's about business. So let's go ahead and get started. I have a few questions that I'm interested in. And the reason why I'm doing this series, just interviewing some local realtors, is this, what is 100,000 just on my side, and it was like over 250,000 is the statistic that I said was already dropped out.
Oh yeah,
of the business.
Yes.
Yeah. So I know it's over 80,000 loan officers didn't renew their license. And I think it's the same thing with, I think it's double nationwide with realtors, a lot of people hopping out. So let's start from the beginning. Let's start. Why did you choose real estate? Why real estate?
Oh, well, I got into real estate I don't want to say by chance, but kind of sort of like that. So I used to have some friends that were in law school, and they used to be interning at a law firm on 59 in Bissonnette. This is early 2000s. Right. So I used to go hang out in that office, and one of the attorneys in there was in charge of HOAs. So the people used to come in there. He was in charge of Piper's Crossing, Charleston Manor, all those HOAs. And people used to come in there just be paying money. And I asked the question, I'm like, what does this guy do? Why is everybody in here constantly writing him checks? Right. So one of the attorneys set up a time. His name is Patrick. He set up a time with the guy. His name is Ashley. And he was like, yeah, man, instead of coming to sit in here, just kicking it, hanging out, you should go get your real estate license. And he gave me some game as to how to turn in my transcripts from college, and then I would be able to, it would those. I think that back then it was evaluation of credits. They'll evaluate the amount of credits that you have from college, and they'll let you know what classes to take. So I
Right.
sent that document in. I came back, and I only had to do 3 classes. Went and did them 3 classes, took the test, passed it, and he put me on. Ashley
Right.
Martins is his name. He put me on, got me in his office, gave me my first 3 listings out in spring, and the
Right.
rest
He
is
gave you
history.
3 listings.
Yeah.
All right, that's crazy. All right. And then what? How did that work out?
Well, it worked out well. It's just that he had that type of office where it was sink or swim. So
Right.
he had a lot of business going on, just like myself. He was a producing broker. So he was
Okay.
not in the office all the time. So you either had to learn the stuff your way or you just had to you die. So
Hmm.
luckily for me, there was another gentleman in the office named Wally. And he brought me on, taught me everything, how to lead generate, how to write contracts, how to, pretty much serve your clients
Right.
because
Right.
he was real good with service, man. This man would go above and beyond for his clients, and he
Right.
taught me that, and that's what has really helped me till this day.
Right. So basically, you got on. You were just seeing a bunch of money go back and forth. Just out of curiosity, it kind of just landed in your lap. Is what I'm gathering.
Yeah,
Right.
and man, it's because HOAs at that time
Hmm.
had power. So if you
Right.
missed the HOA payment, and if man, people were coming in, settling, paying, and it's like all day long, people would just be coming in writing checks.
Right.
And I was
Right.
like, nah, man, this hustle is nice. What's going on here?
Right.
So I set up a meeting with him, and then he pretty much told me what he does, and he said, "Yeah, go get your license, and I'll put you on." And he actually did.
Hmm. Gotcha. So from there, that kind of you got the first 3 listings and stuff like that. What was your niche when you first got in? What was your game plan when you first got into business and like how to
So
make
when I got in, my goal was to make 10 grand a year. So
a year?
I had just got out of school. I was working for UPS at that time, so I
Okay,
had some
gotcha.
free time.
So
So
it's
I
a part
said, well,
time.
if I can supplement my income with 10 grand, I'm good.
Right, right.
So he gave me my transactions. He would keep giving me listings here and there. So I wasn't really doing too much until, like you mentioned earlier, that crash hit. So
Hmm.
2010, 2009, things were not going so well. And I was paying all these dues and fees, HAR and this and that.
Hmm.
And I wasn't really doing anything with real estate. So I was
Right.
like, nah. So in 2011, I went back working full time with one of the hospitals here in Houston, and I put my license on inactive.
Okay.
Then 2013, I just said, you know what? I have this thing that I really enjoy doing it. So let me go back and renew my license. So I
Hmm.
renewed my license, and it was just like divine intervention, man. I renewed my license in maybe March of 2013.
Hmm. Hmm.
December 2013, that hospital system fired me.
Okay.
So then I was like, you know what? That was the worst feeling ever because I was working my butt off. I used to work overnight, killing myself, helping these people, and then they just let me go like that in an instant
Right. Right.
over something that was no fault of mine.
Right.
And I felt really, really, really bad. So I was like, you know what? I don't ever want to feel this again.
Right.
So I
Right.
would take my destiny into my own hands. So I
Right.
joined Keller Williams in
Okay.
2013, and I've been full time real estate since that day. Never went back to work for nobody else.
Gotcha. Gotcha. So how did you because most people don't either they remain part-time or they it's what a 13% make all of the business
Yep.
for the rest. So how did you stay afloat? Like what was your angle? What did you do like to focus on to actually maintain in the business? Like what was your angle? What was your marketing strategy, should I say?
So I looked at Houston, and became I learned very quickly that with the real estate market, the sweet spot in Houston at that time and for a long time has been between 250 and 350.
Hmm.
And to be able to buy, you got to have a certain level of income. The main industries here in Houston are oil and gas and healthcare.
Right.
So I said, okay, then these are my pool of buyers and sellers. I got to get in there with these folks. So how
Hmm.
do I get there? I joined every association that they will let me join. I am a part of the Petroleum Association here. We meet at Shell Towers downtown. I
Hmm.
used to go to all their hospitals here, Methodist, Memorial Hermann. My wife is a nurse. Every year when they're having their end of year parties, I'm there. I made sure that these fields, I would be in there. When they're having the offshore technology conference, I am there. And the last piece was I made sure I was the only realtor in the room.
Right. How did you do that?
Anytime I went somewhere, I made sure that I was the only agent there, and I let them know that, hey, look, I am here to serve you. Because, people would only do business with the people they know, love, and trust.
Right.
Just the bottom line.
Right.
So if I'm able to get to know these people, right, build trust with them and let them know that I value what they are doing with me, then I would be okay. And that's what I've done the last 10 years.
Right. Right. So how did you make sure that you're the only realtor in the building?
Finding the events that I knew I would be the only one. So there are several events that go on in Houston every single day when it comes to oil and gas and all these
Okay,
medical
gotcha.
fields, right?
You just
So I
you just
just
yeah.
find the event that's going on and just go. Now,
Right.
if I go and there's another realtor there, yes, no disrespect. We'll be there. We'll finish the event, but I'm gonna make sure that I don't go back to that event. I'll find another event that I'll make sure that I'm the only one there.
Gotcha. Gotcha. So it's
Yeah.
just make sure that you're there's no other competition.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Gotcha. All right. Cool. My next question is kind of switch fast forward a little bit. Um, where do you see the market? Because the market is kind of reminiscent of 2008, 8-ish right now, 2009, 2010. Where do you see the market for the next year? And then expand on that. Where do you see it for the next 5 years?
So that is a phenomenal question.
Yeah.
It's not as easy as a lot of people out here are predicting that, oh, the market is going to be this, the market is going to be that. If we had a crystal ball, we all can tell. The
Right.
main thing that I can say is Texas is it's a different beast because
Right.
even back then in 2008 and 2009, it was the anomaly. Yes, there was some foreclosures, and yes, there was some downturn in the market, but it wasn't as bad as the rest of the country experienced.
Right. Right.
Um,
Because of
there
all
is going to be an opportunity for people to gain some good values and good deals next year.
Mhm.
I do some flips, but this year has been difficult finding some flips to do. So next year will be kind of like the beginning of good things to come, is what I see. If you're looking to buy, next year would probably one of the best years where you can actually get you like deals where you can got in 2018 and 2017,
Mhm.
you get you a home in a decent area that would appreciate with time. I believe
Right.
next year, and when I got in the market, 6% was interest rate was the norm,
Right.
So
Early
next
2000s.
year, yes, the rates would stabilize a bit more, but I don't believe they're gonna go to people are predicting where it would go super low, or some others are also predicting it will get higher than it is now. I think the market will stabilize. We're going to go back to what a typical real estate market is,
Right.
where,
Order. Yeah.
people are buying and selling, there's activity going on, and interest rates are what the typical norm would be.
Right.
5 years from now, things would continue to grow. I was in Sonterra last
Mhm.
Thursday, and it's merged with Cane Island now.
Okay.
Sonterra and Cane Island, you go through Cane Island Parkway and you're going to be in Sonterra. And they
Okay.
just started building in Sonterra, what, a year and a half ago?
Right. Right.
2 years ago? So the potential for growth when it comes to real estate is going to be phenomenal 5 years from now, I believe. So
Gotcha. So it just you think a lot of people hopped out too early.
No, I think the separation had to happen because a lot of people got in the business and thought it was just as easy as it was happening over
Right.
the last 2 years. You
Right.
know what I mean? So this was a wake up to let them know that, yeah, this business here, if you're not putting in the work, you're
Right.
not going to eat.
Exactly.
You
Exactly.
know, so if you're not ready to put in the work, then it's okay. Just step to the side so the B's and the Kofis and the Chris and everybody else who's here
Right.
to put in the work can continue to put in the work and then enjoy the benefits of that. But if you want to put in the work, come on. Look, I'll be the first to tell you, and I know you do the same thing too. If
Mhm.
anyone gets in the business and they need help, I'd help you all day long. I'll
Right.
teach you what I do every day to be successful. You know what I
Right.
mean? The people that hopped out are just the ones that didn't want to put in the work.
Right.
You know, so yeah, if you don't want to do the work, then you don't deserve to be here. You could just keep on going. We here, it's not easy. It's hard. The things we have to do are simple, right? It's not easy at all.
Right. Well, anything dealing with people is going. There's a level of difficulty in it. Period. Because you're dealing with a lot of emotions. You're dealing with a lot of across a huge time span. So people
Yeah,
shift. So you're dealing. It's almost like that video game where the floor is moving.
yeah.
So this the nature of the business. Period. When you're dealing with people is a difficult thing. You know.
Plus, I have people from all over. So I
Yeah.
have cultural buyers, you
Hmm.
know, people that are buying from overseas that believe that, like, if I'm from Ghana,
Right.
if I go to Ghana today and I see something that I'm willing to purchase and it's $10, I can negotiate and I could start off making an offer at $2.
Right.
So and it's a wide gap, like from $10 to $2 is $8. I just knocked off the price.
Hmm.
However, that's what we do. So if you have a cultural buyer like that and they see a home or a piece of land and it's listed at 300,000, they were like, "Oh man, offer them 100,000."
Right.
That makes it even more difficult because
Right.
now I have to come to you knowing what the comps are and still make you an offer because that's my duty. I have to present what my client asked me to present.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
Exactly.
yeah,
Exactly.
it's very difficult for me dealing with all this plus the culture as well. So
Right. Right.
um,
Well, I got a couple of questions as far as international land, but I'm gonna ask these first before I get back to it. But
okay.
the next one I had, so you kind of revealed a little bit. This is a good segue. So, what would you say is your particular niche in your wheelhouse in real estate? Because there's so many different spokes in the wheel. What is your particular angle or niche, or what would you say is your go to? I know it's multicultural, that's part of it, but what is it investors? Is it leasing? I mean, which new construction? What is it?
So I fortunately a few years ago I picked up a client that was on the investment side.
Hmm.
And you know, they say birds of the feather, you know, they flock together alike. So and he was more of a cash buyer. When I got them, they had 8 properties, and so far I think we've been able to get up to like maybe 30.
Hmm.
um you know, so and he's constantly introduced me to different people. So what we do is we find properties that would typically give you about 1% of whatever you paid it for in rental income monthly.
Hmm.
You know, so that's what I've been able to do well, and that has been a blessing because once we're able to get that, most of their friends and the people in that group that had cash that was sitting there realized that, you know what, instead of having cash sitting, I can
Hmm.
put it in this type of investment and I will still be able to get a decent return and secure my cash.
Yeah,
You
one
know,
percent only
then
is
another thing that I was able to carve out was for my fellow college people that were in school that had built a career over 20 years that had a certain amount of money sitting in their 401ks that were not growing. I was able to come up with a strategy where you can actually cash out some of that money, you know what I mean, use it
Mhm.
to purchase an investment property, and then the money that is paying back goes back to paying yourself back eventually within a certain time frame. You pay that 401k money back, now you have an asset as well, where instead of just having that one piece 401k when you retire, you might have maybe 3 or 4 or 5 properties that are also generating income, you know what I mean, after retirement. So that's what I've been able to do, and that's been my main niche.
Right.
However, I still have, you know, people that are looking to buy, sell day to day, you know, families that are growing, families that are downsizing,
Mhm.
people that are moving overseas. You know, you'd be surprised. There's so much money overseas and they want to invest. And once you invest money here, the federal government also gives you benefits, you know, paths to citizenship, getting green cards. So there are individuals that invest. Like each year, I go back to Ghana and have like a couple of days meetings where I educate people as to some of the things that they can do here. You know what I mean, with their money. I do it in Nigeria, do it in Ghana, do it in other places where, teach them, things that they can do to make sure that their resources are maximized instead of having them sit, because most of them tend to have accounts here. You know what I
Right.
mean? They have bank accounts here and their money's sitting, and Bank of America is using it and they don't get any benefit for it.
Right.
So teaching them those, strategies has been very fruitful.
It's a great segue because the question that I said earlier that I want to kind of revisit, you kind of bridged right into it. This is, and I want to kind of get you. I'm gonna phrase this as a question. I don't know if you watch a fan of the podcast or not, but I've always asked the question. This is kind of my long term strategy for myself, and I'm kind of promoting to others. I think, especially in our community, that we need to have like long term strategies, just like other communities. Of hey, we live here. I'm assuming we get our money here, but we need to start looking international, especially as technology grows, where we could look at properties we don't even have to be there. So as technology grows, we need to start looking at getting some of this land in Ghana, getting some of this land in Nigeria, and actually living on a cheaper footprint, but actually still getting our money here. Because I think it's still the beginning of the end. I think it's going to be rapid change in the United States coming soon. So I think it's now get your money, live on a smaller footprint. I mean, live on at least a less expensive footprint, and that's what a lot of people, other nationalities, do. They get their money here, but they go home to Thailand, they go home to China, they go home to Europe or whatever, but they make their money here. So I think a lot of us American born, because I'm American born, Nigerian,
Okay.
So, but my aunt already retired. She's mid-50s. She already on Banana Island. She had an executive job. She cashed out her stuff and she went back, and she has her guard and everything like that. So she's living. She got
And
her
living the life.
living the life. She's retired. Her and her husband. So we, why not do the same thing? Why try to keep up here, whereas everything's expensive, where your dollar's not stretching?
Yes.
So does that make sense, or is that something that you ever thought about doing, or do you think that's a good idea for our community? What do you think?
It is one of the most important things that I agree, and I am down for any time that we have to put people together to show them how to make that happen. Because on a typical person getting Social Security, how much are you getting? $2,000 at the most.
Right.
Whereas that $2,000, I would argue that now I'll use Ghana because I'm familiar with Ghana, Nigeria also, where you might spend maximum $500 a month.
Right, exactly.
Is what you would spend. So even if you're getting $2,000, at least $1,500 of it you're saving. You're not having to spend it each month. Right. Whereas here, $2,000 a month will not get you nowhere. Your property taxes alone, that money is going to be gone. Exactly. You know what I mean? So it's definitely good to look at other places. Like my wife and I were in Jamaica, I'll say maybe a year and a half ago. We found people from Texas that have bought property there. That are gonna they Airbnb it out. However, that's their retirement. When they retire, they'll go back. And check this out. That property was $90,000.
Right, and you own it.
You own it.
And not like
$90,000. That was nothing. Right. And their Airbnb is renting it out because it's not too far away from the resort we stayed at. Right. And people rent it. They have somebody take care of it. And when they go back, they use it. However, that's their final plan. When we retire, we're going to move there and we'll come do our medical checkups and do all the things that we have to do in the States, pay our taxes, all that. However, most of the time we're going to be here where it's cost us less and we have better, food, entertainment
with less additives, preservatives, and all this other stuff that you're not getting poisoned. Probably and it really safer.
Yes.
That's debatable. A lot of people, that's the stigma. It's not safe. But have you been to Greens Point lately?
Whoa.
You see what I'm saying? So it's debatable if it's safer, and like I said, most importantly, it's cheaper. And then, like I said, there's still incentives. I know in Ghana, especially for American-born, Africans,
they're giving free land, man.
Free land if you develop it. So I would
free land
if you're interested in develop. I know a couple of celebrities, Ross and Ludacris, and a couple of other people are already in Africa developing, Akon and all
Yeah.
of them. So if
Free
we
land. They give you the land for free. You just develop it. And
develop it, and if we get a communities of us, now you getting even safer because you got a support system.
yeah, and not to be, it's like it's all of us. We all look alike. We look out for each other. So it's like,
Right.
it's the best thing, man.
Right.
Man, we can get into this conversation. We'll be here for days just
Right,
talking
right,
about this stuff.
right. I just wanted to tap on that. I got two more for you. I don't want we kind of we're right on point as far as time. So
Sure.
I got two more for you. The last one. Well, actually, let's go ahead and skip to the left because this might take a little second for you if you really want to get into this. Why? So the customers that's looking out here, they get some of this interview. Why should they choose you? Why
Why
you?
should you choose me? Not only for the experience,
Mhm.
right? Because yes, I've done enough of these transactions that I kind of know my way around that. So having someone that has great experience, but I take it as a huge task because look, if somebody's going to even invest $10,000, it's still a lot of money.
Mhm.
So I approach every client with a certain level of care and concern that I believe that whatever it is that you are spending with me, for you to choose me alone is a privilege. Therefore, I got to make sure that whatever it is that you invested is done well. So at the end of the day, you can lay down your head wherever it is that you lay down and know that whatever you invested in, you're going to see a very good return on your investment. I've turned away clients.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? For instance, I don't do hard money.
Okay.
Clients with hard money, that's just my choice. Some
Gotcha.
people would do it because I want you to be, and I explain to my clients why I don't do hard money because it could be a flip. It's just that it might take a little bit longer than the home to sell. And if you use hard money, there are too many risks. You're going to be paying the hard money guy all the money, and they would end up being the ones that will benefit more from the investment than you will. So
Mhm.
let's see how we structure this deal in such a way that your cash that you have on hand could get the deal done. That is just what I've now. Don't get me wrong, hard money is phenomenal. I know clients. I have two of the top wholesaling group in the country, Lee West and Kirk Richards, in my office.
Mhm.
West Richards groups, and that's what they use. They use that all day long. So there's
Right.
nothing wrong with hard money.
Yeah, I
That is
definitely
just
use
what I
those.
have chosen
Right.
not to, you know what I mean,
Right.
work with. Now, to answer your question, my I value the opportunity to serve so much that I would make sure that whatever it is that you entrusting me with is handled, you know, like it's my own, because
Gotcha.
I hate to lose a dollar. It's not easy. We out here grinding all day. So, losing a dollar is not easy for me. So that use the same approach when it comes to my clients.
Gotcha. I always like to end on the last question. Then we could go ahead and take it on. We're right on time as far as time. Last couple of minutes here. Top three. If money was no object, top three places that you would move yourself in Houston.
In Houston,
Yeah, in Houston, Houston and surrounding areas. Top three.
the top three
If money
places
was
I
no
would move
object,
myself.
yeah, that you would yourself would move you and your family to. Top three. Your top three favorite places.
Oh, um,
If money was no object.
I wanted to do something in the city, so I would do something close to the town and country area. Would be
Okay.
my first place because it's central.
Okay.
Because we like to move around quite a bit. We do some traveling, so getting back home after you get back from a trip becomes a bit difficult if you have to drive 50 minutes from the airport. So I would rather do something closer into the city. So that would be my first choice. So something around that Bunker Hill Village area.
You're saying Memorial?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess the villages, the Memorial Villages area.
Memorial, yeah.
That would be one of the places that I would move to. I've always liked Champions Forest.
Okay.
I've had some family members live there, living on a golf course. So it's always neat to be there. Or I would be outside, maybe a little bit outside Houston, outside Cypress area with
Okay.
some land, on maybe a couple of acres. So that would be my three places that I'll be either somewhere in the city, maybe Champions, and a little bit outside the Cypress area.
Gotcha, man. Kufi, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate your time. I don't want to keep you too long. anything else you want to plug? Anything else you want to tell the people where they can find you, so on and so forth?
Oh, well, we're learning, we're growing. We thank you all for giving us opportunity to serve. I know Brandon feels the same way. If you need anything, please reach out to us. I'm always available. One thing that I've been able to do that I thank God for is after Thanksgiving, I kind of shut it down for the rest of the year. So if anybody wants to just hang out, give me a call. I'm free.
Right.
We can chat.
I'm saying I'm the opposite. I turn up there this time. You know, I'm going to research or something. So everybody, you know what I'm saying? So I'm the opposite. So, all right. So, man, I definitely appreciate you coming, man. And for the guests, don't forget, you know, you can find us here on the website. Please, if you like this type of content, y'all want more of it, please like, share, subscribe, tell a friend if you like this type of stuff, man. If you want me to keep it going, go ahead, comment, hit the comments. I know a lot of people watch this on the repeat, but I need y'all to start sharing it, man. So start sharing the content, man, so we can get around. So with that being said, man, peace, and I'll see y'all next time.
God bless. Take care, y'all. Peace.
Appreciate it.